This is a video series on public administration and this is video 2.8. Today's topic is human relations school, Elton Mayo. So this is one of the most wonderful and interesting thinkers, Elton Mayo, and we will study his concepts now. So first, introduction. His studies were on industrial psychology in the sense that human behavior and related to his interpersonal relations. So he studied them, and he was pioneer in human relations approach. You have heard about humanistic behavior or human relations. After classical theory this came, so he was the first thinker to work in this field. Importance of communication between worker and management. So he established this important concept that there should be a communication between them, and the order should not directly come from the management and followed by worker without questioning. There should be a intercommunication and interrelation. So okay, we will start with his first concept, that is clinical method concept. So as you can see that in any clinic there is a constant observation of the patients and their health condition and everything. So similarly he adopted this method in industrial environment, and what he did, he chose one factory and he studied the behavior and the working conditions related to the workers they are working. So first, what was the focus of his attention? First he focused on the behavior of workers, then their production capacity with respect to three things that are psychological, physiological and economic aspects. So he varied these three aspects. Means economic aspects means like their salary and whatever monetary benefits they were getting. Physiological means working conditions like temperature, heat, noise, and psychological means talking to them and encouraging, motivating, communicating them. So these are the three aspects. So what are the main issues with respect to worker problems? So first was the fatigue, means they were getting tired very easily, or means due to tiredness they were not able to work that much efficiently. Then accidents in the industrial, there were a lot of accidents due to many conditions like less illumination maybe. Then production levels, according to Taylor's concept there should be a high production level, but still production levels were average. Then rest periods, how much rest to be given after a particular working time. And then working conditions means what are the conditions: temperature, noise, illumination and other things. So these are the working conditions. So these five are the main issues which he studied in his clinical concept. And then we will study his first experiment. So what happened in a textile mill, there was a heavy turnover problem. Turnover problem means workers were leaving a lot of their jobs. Turnover means leaving the job. So this way in a textile mill there was a separate cell in which workers were leaving their jobs very fast, and it was having 250% turnover per year. So what happened, like he studied the problem of the workers, and after that he came with the results that why they were leaving, because there was long walking distance in their job, and 4 or 5 people were working but there were no communication between themselves, and then they were of different ages, and there was a heavy noise in that particular section. So solutions, what he found, he gave them rest periods to eliminate physical fatigue, and then second was that workers to decide timing and of rest period. So what happened, like since there was no communication between the workers, so they were doing the monotonous job and it was under very bad physical conditions also. So he particularly decided that okay, we will give them the rest period, and the rest period it was like 4 times per day, and that rest period was to be decided by workers only, so that they can talk to each other and then decide that what is the best time to take the rest. Means should we take all 4 rest same time or different times, or means whatever. But the main purpose was that social interaction set in motion, means they were communicating with each other. There was a formation of informalism or social relations between each other. So that made a lot of impact on their psychological relation. Okay, and then Rabel hypothesis. So you just remember this Rabel hypothesis. I will say that just mug up this definition. So it is mankind as a horde of unorganized individuals actuated by self-interest. So according to Rabel hypothesis, mankind is just actuated by self-interest. It just wants the interest of himself, and if you give him monetary benefits and all physical benefits and everything to himself, then he will be happy. So this is the main hypothesis according to which industrial organizations were working. Then what was the findings of first experiment? So first was that turnover was not the result of working conditions, but the emotional response of workers to work performed. So this means that workers can work in hard environment also, but they need right emotional interaction and right emotional communication or motivation, so that they could work in those hard conditions. So it is not because of working condition, but it is because of emotions that they were leaving the job. And second is monotony not a problem, but isolation definitely is. So he said that Elton Mayo discovered that you can give a monotonous job also to the worker, but you can't isolate him. He can't work single-handedly whole day. He has to have some social interaction also, so that he is psychologically satisfied. Okay, then Hawthorne studies. These are the major studies done by Elton Mayo. So before that, what we will see the popular belief. So before that, what industrialists were believing. So they were believing that cause and effect relationship between work conditions and productivity. So the working conditions and productivity are directly interrelated. So what they were thinking before this, productivity enhancers. So these four things are productivity enhancers, like proper ventilation, temperature, lighting, wage incentives. So if you give them AC and give proper lighting and good wages, then they will be happy and they will work harder. And efficiency blockers were improper job design, like organizational structure. If you have bad organization structure, then it will block the efficiency. Then fatigue, that is true. And then less illumination means less lighting. So after that, he did this experiment which is also known as the Great Illumination. He did it between 1924 to 27, and this is called Great Illumination because it threw light on the new areas of industrial relations. So these are the relations and conditions which we have already studied. Now we will study what are the new relations in industry. So what happened, like he chose 6 girls and divided 12 girls and divided them in 2 groups of 6 each, and these were the experimental groups. He did experiments on these 2 particular groups. So first we will see what experiments he did on these 2 groups. So you know that these are the enhancers and these are the blockers. So what he did means he maintained the temperature, lighting, and gave them wage incentives like piece rate work and everything, and the production kept on increasing. Then he decreased these and eliminated them at all. Still production became a little less, but then again it started increasing. So they were sure that these things are not productivity enhancer at all, because if they were, then why the production was increasing again and again. So then what are the effects of this experiment? So first, modified management practices. So due to this particular experiment, managers modified their practices. Then social man concept came. This came because the girls which were working, they became embedded, and means they had a informal relation with each other. They became a social group. Then remarkable change in mental attitude. So when they were working as a group and there was good communication and social interaction, so their mental attitude changed and they were not blocking their productivity, they were constantly increasing their productivity. Then sense of participation, because they were closely observed, so they got a sense of participation in the working atmosphere and they were like, we are the special ones. And interpersonal contact between worker and supervisor. So this is very important because the supervisors were also under constant watch, so they were behaving benevolently with their workers, and there was a personal contact with them, means they were giving more freedom to the workers to work according to their needs. So this developed an interpersonal contact. Then link between supervision, morale and productivity. So this concept was established by Hawthorne experiment, that supervision has direct relation to morale, and if there is good supervision, then morale will increase and that will increase the productivity. And then last is that work satisfaction to a large extent depends on the informal social pattern of the group. So if the workers are satisfied, that is because they have the social environment in which they can have their psychological needs fulfilled. So the social pattern of informal group is very important for job satisfaction. Okay, so this video is finished. Later we will see what Elton Mayo has discovered about group incentives and then particular emotional behavior of particular workers, and he has taken an interview of so many workers and he came to many conclusions. So we will see that in next video. And thank you guys, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.